African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 17th of January, 2025. From January 11th to 17th, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out 8 group strikes with high-precision weapons and attack unmanned aerial vehicles, which resulted in the destruction of critically important gas and energy infrastructure facilities in Ukraine that support the operation of the Ukrainian military-industrial complex, weapons depots, a fuel base, and the infrastructure of military airfields. In addition, assembly shops, storage areas for attack unmanned aerial vehicles and unmanned boats, as well as temporary deployment points for Ukrainian armed formations and foreign mercenaries were hit. Yesterday, January 16th, another attempt was made from the territory of Ukraine to launch a missile strike on targets in the Belgorod region using 6 US-made Adams operational tactical missiles. During the anti-aircraft battle, all missiles were shot down. There were no casualties or damage. Over the course of a week, 49 Ukrainian servicemen surrendered on the contact line. Units of the North Group of Forces continue to destroy formations of the Ukrainian armed forces in the Kursk region. As a result of active offensive operations, the settlements of Alexandria, Leonidovo, Ruskoye Portnoy, and Krugokoye were liberated. Airstrikes, unmanned aerial vehicles, and artillery fire damaged the manpower and equipment of a tank, 4 mechanized, 3 airborne assault brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, a Marine brigade, and 2 territorial defense brigades. Over the course of a week, units of the mechanized and motorized infantry brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces and 2 territorial defense brigades were defeated in the Kharkov direction. In the area of responsibility of the North Group of Forces, the enemy's losses amounted to over 2,225 servicemen, 10 tanks, 71 combat armored vehicles, 70 vehicles, and 34 field artillery guns, including 2 Western-made ones, were destroyed. Units of the West Group of Forces, the settlements of Kalinovo in the Kharkiv region and Terny in the Donetsk People's Republic have been liberated through active actions by units of the West Group of Forces. The manpower and equipment of a tank, 3 mechanized, infantry, airmobile, and assault brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, 3 territorial defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade were damaged. The enemy lost up to 3,300 troops, 4 tanks, 27 combat armored vehicles, including 6 US-made M113 armored personnel carriers and a Turkish-made Kirpi armored car, 72 vehicles, 44 field artillery pieces, including 8 NATO-made ones, 9 electronic warfare stations, and 15 ammunition depots were destroyed. As a result of decisive actions by units of the Southern Group of Troops, the settlement of Yantarnoy in the Donetsk People's Republic was liberated. Formations of 6 mechanized, 2 motorized infantry, 2 assault, infantry, mountain assault, airmobile brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, and 2 territorial defense brigades were defeated. Over the course of a week, the Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 1,655 servicemen, 2 tanks, and 22 combat armored vehicles in this area, including 2 US-made M113 armored personnel carriers and a French-made VAB armored personnel carrier, 31 vehicles, 20 field artillery pieces, including 2 American M777 155mm howitzers. 7 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Center Group of Forces continued to advance into the depths of the enemy's defense and liberated the settlements of Shevchenko, Peskanoy, Ukrainka, and Slavyanka of the Donetsk People's Republic. The units of 8 mechanized brigades, a motorized infantry brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Marine brigade, 2 territorial defense brigades, 2 National Guard brigades, and the light assault brigade of the National Police of Ukraine were defeated. The losses of the Ukrainian armed forces amounted to over 3,770 servicemen, 6 tanks, including 3 Leopard tanks made in Germany, 29 armored combat vehicles, including 5 M113 armored personnel carriers, a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, and 2 Max Pro armored vehicles made in the USA. A French-made VAB armored personnel carrier and a Turkish-made Cobra 2 armored fighting vehicle were destroyed. 27 vehicles and 45 field artillery pieces, including 3 Western-made ones, were destroyed. As a result of active actions by units of the East Group of Forces, the settlement of Neskechnoye in the Donetsk People's Republic was liberated. Defeat was inflicted on the formations of 4 mechanized, tank, airborne assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Marine brigade, 3 territorial defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade. The enemy lost over 1,445 servicemen, 4 tanks, 7 armored combat vehicles, including a HMMWV armored combat vehicle and a Stryker armored personnel carrier made in the United States, 48 vehicles and 18 field artillery pieces, including 5 made by NATO countries. 2 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of 2 mechanized infantry, 2 coastal defense brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, a National Guard brigade, and 2 territorial defense brigades. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 550 servicemen, an armored combat vehicle, 49 vehicles, 20 field artillery guns, 4 electronic warfare stations, and 5 ammunition depots. Over the past week, air defense systems have shot down a total of 12 U.S.-made Adams operational tactical missiles, 8 UK-made Storm Shadow air-launched cruise missiles, 7 French-made Hammer guided air bombs, 48 U.S.-made HIMARS multiple launch rockets, and 747 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles. Since the beginning of the special military operation, a total of 652 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 40,643 unmanned aerial vehicles, 590 anti-aircraft missile systems, 20,650 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,510 multiple launch rocket systems, 20,742 field artillery pieces and mortars, and 30,433 special military vehicles have been destroyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.